I think I was hesitant to have this conversation because it sounds generic. It sounds cliche. Like, oh, what? Another spiritual conversation about love? Like, what's fucking new? You know? What I realized is that I think we, as a spiritual community in particular, or whatever, whoever it is that's talking about love, I don't think we fully, properly articulate the alternative.
Oh,
And that is why it doesn't land, because we're like, yeah, love is all there is. Great. What? Like, what does that mean? Love is from a divine standpoint, whatever. Yes, God touches everything and God is love and all that stuff. But what I'm hearing as we're talking about disarmament is the truth that when we're not loving, we are harming.
oh shit.
We are harming ourselves and we can harm others. And we do. We do. And so, what we're talking about here, this commitment to non harming, what that actually looks like on the ground level has to do with recognizing where we leave our love and raising the standard on our willingness to do that. Because if we're willing to harm ourselves, I promise you, we're willing to harm everyone in our lives. Not consciously. It's not like we're bad people, but that if we are not in our love, we are in our harm.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is why it's so potent, because it's no small thing, because it requires the presence, the awareness, the cultivation, the practice, the discipline, the fortitude, the strengthening again, the remembering again, the 6 years under the microscope, looking at all the things, the bringing it consciously, intentionally to the people that we serve. Like, nothing I just said is like, oh yeah, brushing my teeth, I don't think about it. Like, no.
That's right.
This is like if you were like, I've been raw vegan for the last 6 years. Like, that didn't happen by accident. You tried very hard. You made
That's
a
right.
conscious choice. And
I love that.
That deliberacy, that deliberateness.
Yes.
Why it's radical, is why it's potent. Is why it's not some like, oh, just fluffy talk.
That's right.
This work
That's
changes
right.
how we live.
That's right. In order for us to have this conversation as a community, we have to be willing to look at the truth that we harm. And I think a lot of us it's so uncomfortable to look at that truth that we would just rather cover ourselves up. No, we'll be spiritual, we'll say namaste every day, and that'll be fine. That's not what we're talking about. Our love shows up and disappears depending on our awareness, on our consciousness about what the fuck we're doing inside our minds and how it's showing up in our relationships. Again, it's like the framework is emerging that in order to truly love, we have to be willing to acknowledge that we truly harm. It might be all unconscious. In fact, why wouldn't it be? I think in general, our harm is unconscious. That's the nature of the unconscious. And that's the starting point.
Everything you want is already